Our next speaker is Martin Graff, and he's going to be telling us about the function of non-verbal behavior in human courtship. Welcome to the stage, Martin Graff.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to be talking about non-verbal communication in human courtship, i.e. kind of hooking up, I guess. I'm not a dating coach or anything. I'm a psychologist, and I'm going to tell you about some of the psychology studies in this area. So it is kind of non-verbal communication I'll be talking about. So it is non-verbal, as I say. There are relationship scripts, sexual scripts. So it's not kind of like you go home and you say, oh, have a good day, office to you, sex at 10. It's not like that. It's kind of more sort of non-verbal. These people, Pupil and Fox, said that there were stages people go through, which was approach, swivel and synchronize, and touch. So people have to go through these stages in order to sort of initiate a relationship, if you like. So the first one, and they did this by observing people in singles bars in North America. The first stage is the approach stage. So obviously, psychologists telling you something that you already know, obviously, because you'd have to approach somebody to be able to talk to them. You wouldn't wave, the other side of the room. That wouldn't get you anywhere. So you have to approach them. So that's the first stage, is to approach. And there's some psychology on this that females apparently don't like being approached from the side. Males don't like being approached from the front. If you want any more on that, I can tell you more about that from evolutionary psychology later on. But that's the way to approach people. You don't approach guys from the front. You don't approach ladies from the side. Next thing you have to do, obviously, is smile. So if you approach somebody, you're not going to frown. You're going to smile. These two faces here show you, sincere and insincere smiles. So the sincere smile, you use these muscles here on your eyes, orbicularis oculi, to smile. And then when you approach, people generally do the eyebrow flash. You can't see that, but hello, and you flash your eyebrows. Please don't do that in Japan. It's got a very culturally specific meaning in Japanese culture to flash your eyebrows, so don't do it there. You can do it in Europe and maybe the States only. Next stage is swivel and synchronize. So once you've approached, you're sitting down, you have to sort of swivel around to face somebody, and what people generally do is to synchronize their movements. And that kind of indicates a degree of kind of rapport. If you want to know if somebody is actually attracted to you, one of the sort of surefire methods is to look at their eyes. If you can get that close. If their pupils dilate, it means they're attracted to you. If your pupils are dilating, you're attracted to them. Just a word of warning, if you're going to go in and look at people's eyes, pupil dilation is also sort of shock. So they might be thinking, how terrible you are. Next thing you have to do, obviously, is start a conversation, an opening line. So an opening line is generally, I'll show you some in a moment, but you wouldn't go up to somebody and say, oh, hello, the floor is a bit brown, would you? Because that's not an opening line. Here's some of the lines which come from a guy called Chris Clunky. Is that really your hair? You remember when a woman is to date, your place or mine, I'm easy at you. It's cold, let's make some body heat. Females to males, didn't we meet in a previous life? It's been a long time since I had a boyfriend. And what were the other ones? Anyway, you have to ask an opening question. So it has to be a question. And what you're looking for in sort of psychological terms is what people say in response if they use your name. So if I ask a question and they use my name, Martin, that's a good thing. If the reply is lengthy, that's a good thing also. And then you're looking for kind of what we call movements, synchrony and behavior matching. So you can see some people here who are matching the same behaviors, moving in synchrony. Again, that's a kind of non-verbal indication of rapport between people. If you want to really know what people are thinking, we're very good at hiding our non-verbal behavior above the waist. Below the waist, Paul Ekman said there's a phenomenon called lower body leakage. So if you look below the waist, you can tell that somebody might be a little bit sort of bored with you. Then we get into the touch phase. Touch isn't just touching people in the touch phase. It's other things about the way in which we talk as well. One of the things is to do with disclosure of information, so, telling people about yourself. If you tell people about yourself, and not too much, you wouldn't go up to someone and say, my mother's an alcoholic, that's too much too soon. But you might go up and just tell them a little bit about yourself. You can get them to like you by telling them about yourself. And if you get them to tell you about them, that makes them like you too. The other thing we have to engage in is a little bit of humor. The general rule is that, again, from an evolutionary psychology point of view, is that males have to produce humor, females have to appreciate humor. That's the kind of general rule. So, it's the guy who's making a girl. This guy, Nick Huguin from University of Southern Brittany in France, carried out this really cool study in a French nightclub where he got guys to sort of touch ladies just on the lower wrist there, and those who touched were more successful at initiating contact. Finally, happiness is to do with the amount of sex you have. A professor of mine carried a little study on this and said to people, how many people have sex every night? And they went, yeah, we do. How many people have sex once a week? Yeah, we do. How many people once a month? Yeah, we do. Once every 6 months, once a year. And the guy goes, yeah. How come you're so happy? And the guy says, well, it's tonight. Okay. Thank you very much.
Fascination!